one, let's go. Okay, so this is Pixelia here, and we're here tonight with Ryan from the Central Games, COO of the Central Games. Welcome here, Ryan. This is Anton Web Radio. This is Stronghold. This is your house, your home.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
so
you for
excited
having
to have
me.
you here. Thank you for being here, bro.
Good to be here. Happy Friday.
All right, thank you. So Ryan, you know, in this show, we've been interviewing the Central Games community members, the Central Land community members. We're trying to create like a bridge between the Central Land community and the Central Games community. Um, just by putting faces to the names. I think
Mhm.
this is an amazing thing to do because it gives you the chance to connect. So like I'm all down for ice poker for the Central Games. Like I am a true believer on the project, um, and that's part of what you're here. I like if someone. I think that if we were to talk to someone who truly believes in this project, you're the guy to talk to. Miles is the guy to talk to. You guys
Great.
like literally this is your baby, and you can tell like you're not your standard Web3 group of entrepreneurs. Like you can see that your mindset is different, your goals are different, the way you do things are different. Um, so I just feel honored to have you here, uh, because of your background, which I know, but um, most of the people here tonight don't know. So let's just try to get like a timeline together. I always start by asking people this, like, what is kind of your background in crypto and what led you to the Central Land in the first place? So
Yeah.
this would be an amazing question for you because I think that the Central Games was conceived um, once the Central Land was on the in the map.
Yeah.
So maybe give us some light about it.
Absolutely. So, um, God, time really flies. Hard to believe the token launched in 2020 and it's now 2023. Decentraland's been around in one form or another 5 or 6 years. For me personally, uh, I worked in tech, places like Amazon for quite a while, Credit Karma, and got interested in Ethereum back in 2017. I think right as it was starting to have that run up, got interested because of my brother who's in the space. He was talking about it all the time. Kind of got into crypto at that point. Had heard about Bitcoin previously, but never paid too much attention to crypto. Um, Again, I have to credit my brother Scott for showing me Decentraland back, I don't know, 2018, 2019. I'm trying to think about
Yes,
it, but
it's a while ago.
it made things click. The idea that you could spin up tokens like Mana, there were ERC20 tokens. You could have ERC721 tokens that were NFTs, representing things like wearables and land within Decentraland. That was my first introduction to NFTs. I know a lot of people, it was profile picture projects, but the first NFTs I heard about were Decentraland land way back in the day. And then I myself am not one of the founders of Decentralgames, but my brother Scott is, along with Miles. And so I would see them building stuff in Decentraland. And I went in a few times back before Central Games existed. They were building experiences that included things like backgammon and checkers. They were building buildings, like they built the Matic building in Crypto Valley, I think in 2019, possibly early 2020.
Oh, that's a while ago.
They've been really close with the Matic team as well for quite a while. And then this all came together in the form of Decentral Games, which launched in late 2020. It's kind of a informal advisor at that point. Obviously, I've known my brother his entire life. I've known Miles for a while as well. And then joined full time, I think March 2021. So almost 2 years now, set up operations. And most of my experience is in the data side of things and in partnerships work.
Yeah, I've seen that you've been excelling at the partnership side of things. It's been like an avalanche of just
We're moving
one
fast.
amazing partnership after the next one. What the hell, bro?
It's been a great team effort too. I mean, we have our wearable designer Pit that you'll see on the OpenSea qualification. Sauce is doing a lot of work on them as well, and with the partners. 50 Sat, collaborating with them on all the announcements and the copy. Murph doing the events
Murphy's
as well.
Murphy's very good as well.
Yeah, we've done tons of events. We had continued our focus on events going back 2 or 3 years on this at this point. I think people who've been around a while may remember some of the stuff we did with Atari, that we did with Board Ape Yacht Club, Dex Tools, and others back in 2021. So there's the event side, and then really took off with the launch of Ice Poker in October 2021. I can talk a bit about that journey as well.
Yeah, I wanted to just like put a pin there because I wanted to you, like October 2021 launch of Ice Poker. Let's just rewind a little bit. Let's say 6 months before, you were still doing community events in Tominoya, like running poker tables. Um, how was the data collecting experience and like the community feedback? Like, how were you guys able to, you know, organize all that data and feedback you were getting? Because like the way I see it, like I've tried to put myself in your shoes. Like if I was like I would be going crazy. I wouldn't know how to go about it. So like, how was that? All that data, all that information turned into Ice Poker because it was the result of that analysis, if I'm correct. You know.
Um, yeah, I mean, so back when the first games launched, it was blackjack and roulette, this non-custodial approach to gameplay. We had the Decentralgames treasury, a few different revenue streams, mainly just those games and the Polygon node at that time. We were definitely tracking closely on-chain analytics, like how many different addresses played today, in what different tokens, what was the revenue to the DAO, that sort of stuff. Um, I think that being just collaborating with a lot of different projects, NFT projects, um, talking to our investors, community members, and learning about other games. In the spring of 2021 is when we learned about Axie Infinity, and that really took off. And we didn't want to build a game copying Axie Infinity, but we thought what they were doing was interesting with like a few caveats, right? It was a cool idea that people could buy NFTs and earn tokens by playing under this model. Even then, I think we recognized that the breeding mechanic was flawed because then people had the power to take 2 NFTs and make 4 and make 8 and make 16,
Mhm.
and that would eventually be a problem as growth slows down.
Yeah.
So we tried to reconcile that with an upgrading of NFTs approach, which is more like a linear progression than an
Yeah.
exponential progression. And then the other thing that was developed was the off-chain delegation of assets. So the way that people have done this within the gaming space is one of two ways. Like you have the yield guilds and merit circles and sort of guild approach where if you're going to do scholarship, aka delegation, aka lending on chain, then you're kind of trusting a third party to custody that asset for you, like your yield guild. The way we did it, which doesn't have that trust component, but has the component of not being as decentralized, to say, since it's off chain, is that you're able to delegate these assets, but they stay in your wallet. So you can just think about like, we remember in a database what those delegation relationships are. So with those two things, it was really seamless to grow to thousands of users because people could onboard people really quickly.
So like
Um,
it just makes a connection between like my wallet and the user, like the delegate's wallet.
mhm.
They go to a database. It locks them up as this guy delegated him. It connects them and it grants them like it opens the gate for them so they can.
And then we remember, like when the delegated wallet comes into Decentraland, we see, okay, there's an NFT delegated to them. They went in, they earned 500 ICE. We should split this 300 ICE to the player, 200 ICE to the delegator. And then at the end of the day, each of them can just claim those earnings. That simplifies things quite a bit versus, working with a guild and maybe they pay you every week or every month.
Mhm.
And um, there are pros and cons to each approach, but definitely helped us grow. As folks who've been around will know, I don't want to gloss over the fact that, in spite of the fact that we didn't have this uh, problem with the exponential increase of supply of NFTs, like if you look at a Zedrun or an Axie or a Peg Axie, these unfortunately grew to hundreds of thousands or millions of NFTs.
It grew out of control.
We still grew to 15,000 NFTs, and as demand for those items fell off, this kind of coincided with the beginning of the bear market as well in the spring. And so then we had too many NFTs earning too much ICE versus the demand to play them. And the ICE token price suffered as a result of that. So we have seen daily active users come down versus the first quarter of last year. Revenues have, of course, come down, but we made the conscious choice to pause minting in April. So there were no new NFTs entering the supply,
Yeah.
increasing the supply of tokens. And we just focused everything on balancing the economy, on getting this burn to earn number that people who are kind of inside will know that we talk about all the time. It's this idea of, okay, we emit a million ICE tokens. How many are coming back to stuff like
Yeah.
upgrades, activation, burning ICE for shine? So we've made a lot of progress there, but we aren't all the way there yet. The biggest thing will be growing our app.decentralgames Flex game.
That's like it's interesting what you just mentioned because like it gives me an idea of what happened on your end throughout the process. Um, like the first time I heard of the Central Games, it was like back in 2021, November, December. I was first delegated, like maybe February, March. So that's when I first came into the ecosystem. Um, so I kind of rode the entire roller
Okay.
coaster
Yeah.
that we had, and like comparing the Central Games to other projects. This is my personal take on this, and you can correct me at any point if you want. Like as a team, you can actively see, like I can actively see you guys, all of you guys, um, like getting that information from the community and actually turning it into something else. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember when the conversations in the Discord for the Central Games were like, we need to improve the burn to earn ratio, whatever. Like now the conversation sits on how amazing has been the burn to earn ratio this week. Like like it's like
Mm-hmm.
ways have been found to overcome the issues. So like I was just talking to Manzier yesterday, and he was telling me like when I picture this project 5 years from now, I can still see them on Earth, existing. Plus,
Sure.
they're not only ice poker. It's the central games. It's games in general. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can just spiral out of control as well. Like there's so many things to do, but the fact that you're taking the time to deliver such a neat product in like with ice poker speaks a lot. and the quality of the team in terms of sticking to deadlines, delivering product on time, and when not on time, quality product, like quality over speed. That's also something I personally love. That what reading messages like, what, alpha test is delayed because we want to we want to take the time to do this better. And not everybody does that. Some people are willing to just go there and do nothing just for the sake of showing their community, hey, we were here. You guys have consistently been delivering, and it's a nonstop avalanche of things. Like right now, I was trying to log in yesterday to 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 flex, play some sit and goes, and the player hub was live, and I was like, oh damn, this is dope. So
We're shipping relentlessly. That's
so
the thing.
so yeah, let me ask you, like, Iceflex, like, how, like, was this always part of the plan, or was this just um a, a creative solution for the burn to rent ratio? Was it both? Was it just metrics? Like, talk to me about it, because I can see a logical evolution of the project, not a reactional evolution, if it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the story makes a lot of sense in retrospect, but to your question, it definitely wasn't like the plan all along. Even when we started building poker in Decentraland, we didn't have the idea that it would be this whole play and earn mechanic or the idea of ice poker. Um, we pivoted to that approach. I would say we started building poker at like the beginning of 2021. Didn't ultimately launch it until October. And then likewise, we started building Flex maybe March, April of 2022 and launched it in September. So an entire mobile platform launched in 5 months. We did not have the idea for it when we launched Ice Poker the previous October.
I'm gonna do something just to, like,
Yeah, thank you. And well, but one of the things to consider too is like within traditional Web 2 gaming, and I get some exposure to that. My wife actually works at Bungie, which is a separate. They make Destiny and previously made Halo and that sort of stuff. But or even within the mobile games system, you raise a lot of money and then you spend years building a game, and then you release something that you think is perfect, and then spend
find
millions of
out it's
dollars
not.
on advertising. In this space, it's like we're going to just be building in front of everyone. Everyone is going to be giving us feedback real time, building with us, participating in these tests. And what we launch initially is not going to be perfect, right? Like what was launched in September for Ice Poker Flex on the site, there's the cat. What launched initially in September had these issues with needing to make these improvements in the player hub, making it easier to onboard people via supporting more wallets. We added Web3 auth. The onboarding funnel was just too many clicks from landing on the page to actually being in there. That funnel is a lot smoother. The logins are smoother. You can do way more within Flex without having to go to the website. You can buy ICE with assets on any EVM chain. You can buy NFTs with a credit card now. You can spin up a wallet just with your Gmail address. So as we're running ads, I would say more than half of the people who come through our ads, even though we're marketing on Web3 native platforms, they're choosing to connect with their Gmail, with email in particular.
That-
So people are
wow.
spinning up a new wallet that way. And then there's a lot more work that we still need to do to get people from that step all the way to playing within the game. But hopefully people can see that we have a strong team across product, marketing, operations, and we are continuing to ship multiple things a month, every month. The experience is getting better and better. And that what we really haven't cracked quite yet is just getting to the scale that we need to be at. So, having a few thousand people playing in Decentraland, having a few hundred people playing on Flex every day is maybe middle of the road within Web3, but it's not our aspiration to be just a few hundred or a few thousand users. I mean, we think that we can compete with the big mobile gaming platforms like a Zynga Poker, for example, maybe as a comp. Our offering is not the same as Zynga. It's not the same as a PokerStars. It's a different approach to the game of poker and has these Web3 elements. But we're definitely looking at those other apps and being like, are there areas where their user experience is substantially better? And, Leo would be better suited to speak to all the product stuff. But I think that if you look at where Ice Poker Flex is today versus when we launched 4 months ago versus where it's going to be, 4 months from now, it's just going to keep looking night and day better.
I gotta tell you personally, like the between the first alpha test that I took part with and current state of the product, like it's amazing the change that the product has experienced. This is just overwhelming sometimes because it's a lot to process when it comes to how fast this was created and improved.
Right.
Um, as far as the game itself, I think that you guys are focusing your attention in what I think will be the deal breaker here, and is the making it easy for any person to own an NFT without the hassle of creating a wallet, connecting, bridging assets, like all these things. Like, how can you simplify this process to the point that it becomes just a couple clicks here and there, and it's nothing more than that? Because let's face it, a lot of the barriers that crypto may find are linked to that, to the technicalities behind using crypto.
Yes.
I think that you guys are attacking the real issue here, which is bridging the gap between people who know what they're doing when it comes to crypto and people who have no idea what crypto is, but they like poker. So how can you bridge that? And I think it's that's the main focus, like the main problem. That's what I would attack myself. You know.
It makes a lot of sense. And we also think about it as what's the user base that we're serving well right now, that we're not serving very well. By having around the clock 3 Shine buy-ins and needing to use a wallet and buy an NFT, that's pretty appealing to like our delegated players and people who just like to play really casually. It's kind of like the intersection of Web3 users and casual, which is not the largest segment. Whereas by offering 3 Shine and 30 Shine concurrently, maybe we can capture some people who want to spend more ice per game. And then by launching a completely wallet-free, shine-free, just we've been calling it like training mode or something like that, where someone without being introduced to NFTs at all could just play completely for free to test out the game. I think that's coming as soon as like the end of this quarter sort of range. And then we don't have SMGs in the metaverse. So also this quarter, you may have seen that we ran our first
Yeah, I was in the
alpha test
Coliseum.
last week.
Yeah.
There are people who want to play in the metaverse as well. And which community is the largest? It's going to be the completely free to play, earn nothing, no NFT community. But there are some problems with that approach, which is that already exists. Like that's not going to be our biggest value add in the space, but we should have it. And then there's like the people who want to play in the metaverse or for much higher shine amounts. And I think that will be a pretty big value add and differentiator because no one else is doing 3D metaverse poker.
No one.
Not yet, anyway. And I mean, there are lots of other smaller things that are important, like optimizing the funnel, as you were mentioning, making it easier. These multiple gameplay modes, more sort of native features within the Flex app. Like one of them we launched that I don't think people noticed or made a big deal of, but took quite a while, was this integration with Bridge, where now if you have funds on ETH mainnet, Avalanche, Optimism, you can just convert them instantly to ICE on Polygon. So it instantly is an exaggeration. Maybe it takes like 2 or 3 minutes for it to settle.
Where is this feature located? Like, I
It should be within the player
I am
hub.
ashamed not
If
to
you click
know.
ICE,
Next to the
yeah, on at the top row. Unless
okay,
I'm wrong, it should be. We'll check that out.
I have it
Um,
here open. I was playing before I jumped with you
Love it.
on the interview. Okay, I
Let
was
me,
just okay. Now I see it. Dude, this changed so much in like I didn't play for 2 weeks and I cannot recognize it. Like it's amazing. You guys are amazing on delivering product. It's like super fast.
kudos to Leo and to all the great developers working on it.
Yeah, they are they are like top notch for
Leo's
real.
fantastic. Yeah, he um, worked at some big places like the Athletic and Nike, and has a background in computer science himself. I'm actually not sure if he ever worked as a software developer, but he has some background in that, and then now working in product. Just does a great job working with the engineers across our metaverse, Flex, and web development teams. So we're shipping fast. I mean, honestly, it's been frustrating to see ICE continue to decline and us continue to have issues growing to the scale that we know we need to be at. Like everyone wants everything to happen immediately or to happen like next week.
It's impossible.
Uh,
It takes time, bro.
but we look at where we were in September before Delegation V2, before Flex, before all the things we've talked about on this call, and where we are now, we're in a much better foundation to, grow. Like if we did grow to 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 Flex users, this is a gameplay mode that's deflationary on ICE, generates revenue in the form of ICE to and doesn't come with any of these downside risks of growing like the metaverse player base on inflation on the ICE token. So we're in a much better spot to grow than we were 6 months ago. We just need to do it now.
I think that like if I may just say it, I don't think that you guys should ever be disencouraged. This is like the financial market is cyclic, and we're
But
we're we're in just a crappy spot of the cycle. But you guys have been doing what others are failing to do, which is just keep building. Avoid drama, avoid all these things. Just keep building. Be responsible with your assets. Be responsible with your users. Be responsible with your community. Just keep building, keep delivering. And we as a community, I say we because I talk to many community members, and we all agree on the same. Like we all trust on you guys as a team because your actions reflect your words. You're just not just saying it. You're just saying it and doing it. So it's different. It's different when you actually see
thank
people putting their money where their mouth is and getting shit done. It's amazing. I gotta applaud you guys for that. Um,
Thanks. This is a nice pick me up on Friday. Thank you.
then now this is like 2023 January,
Good.
and we're already experiencing amazing upgrades for Flex. Now, what can we expect for Flex in the, let's say, the next 3 months, 6 months, year? If we kind of want to project it like short term, medium term, and long term throughout the year, like what is there to expect?
Got it. Let me think about. Um, In the very short term, there are some more funnel improvements to make. I think we can make more progress on the UA campaigns. We're launching multiple gameplay modes next week, so 3 and 30 shine
Yeah.
around the clock.
So
I teased that. By the end of the quarter, I don't have a firm date. I would say Metaverse sit and goes. I don't want to put Spicy too much on the spot, but maybe in the course of like somewhere between 1 to 2 months on that one. Miles has been talking a lot about improving our badge redemption marketplace. So right now, you can just redeem for Shine, Ice, and all access wearables.
mm-hmm.
So again, kind of talking about this quarter time frame, improving the redemption marketplace and adding some additional prizes. As I look out to next quarter, fully fledged free play mode. So no wallet, no NFTs, quote unquote, like training mode for people to just come in, test the game for fun. It's not our highest priority thing, but we think it's important to add.
When are we getting challenges on mobile?
I don't think we don't have any plans to launch challenge mode on mobile yet.
Oh, you're breaking my heart, Ryan.
Yeah.
No,
We
it's okay.
don't.
No, it's okay. You know what? That's just my lazy being talking because then I can do them from my bed. But this forces me
Anyway.
to go to my poker, you know, office and just get my shit done. So thank you for that.
If anything, we want to direct more of the traffic, I think, to SNGs, and we would probably build out additional gameplay modes on mobile that burned ice versus expanding challenge
Nice.
modes that emit ice. It would be fun. I appreciate the UX way better. We also think it's valuable to have this large player base in Decentraland. So I think for now, it's definitely something that could be a community decision in the Discord and the DAO and Snapshot. But we don't have any plans at this time to launch challenge mode on mobile.
That's cool. I just had to ask. That's
Yeah, of course.
I just couldn't help myself, Ryan. I apologize, bro.
No, you are all good. I'm thinking longer term. As I look 6 months out, hopefully we have a lot more players, of course, from all these improvements. But private lounges are an idea that's been floated around. So imagine you could enter like a 3 shine tournament, a 30 shine tournament, or you could create a link, app.decentralgames/
to create your own lounge, to create
and
your
share
own
that
shine.
with 5 of your friends. That's something that's been
Oh,
floated
that would be next level shit. Like
on the
for real.
longer term sort of roadmap.
I'll take that over challenge mode. Anything.
Okay, so that's our partners. A lot of the partners we've been talking to have really encouraged us to do that. There's some things we want to do around emotes and emojis that, like, we launched those 9 emojis within Flex. We'd love to have more customizable, purchasable emojis for ICE, as well as incorporating the 90 emotes that Sauce and team launched, all those different the cool emotes that you can buy and use in Decentraland. You should be able to buy and set within Flex. Okay. And then we have some ideas around player leveling, player progression, and chests, where rather than just having like simple weekly leaderboards, you might earn things in a more dynamic way by leveling up your account over time. Versus just like daily, weekly, monthly leaderboards. But all of the ideas I just listed kind of fall into the category of more than 3 months out, because all of the ideas I listed, all the things I listed at first, are firmly like within the next 3 months. So this is always a big challenge that I think people have a lot of good ideas. Between talking to people in the community, people in the DG team, large investors, everyone has a lot of good ideas to implement. And then it's like, okay, we have several devs who work on this, several devs who work on this, several devs who work on this. They're able to do this much in 3 months. So we just have to decide what things as a group as the DG DAO are we going to focus on? And we don't always make the right prioritization decisions, but I think we've been pretty good about determining like this is something essential we have to do right now. This is something we can do in a few months, and we're not that much worse off. But that's definitely a lot of the hard work of being in this position and being uh, a group of thousands of people trying to build a community and product together. It's like, what are we doing this month, this quarter, versus 6 months from now?
No, I think that the like it's a process. You gotta trust your gut eventually whenever you're building something
Mhm.
like this, that it's so long term, and there will be a lot of, you know, let's say, space to correct mistakes as well, because mistakes will be made. It's just it's part of the learning curve, I think.
Yeah.
But I, based on what I see and what I've seen personally and I've experienced as a user, I think that you guys are on the right path. And again, congratulations for that, because it's a consistent uh, effort. Like, it's like constant reinforcement of the issue that we're, you know, like we as users are on the right spot with the right team. So that's refreshing, and it's always good to hear firsthand these things, because it just builds up your morale.
Well,
So,
thanks.
um, Ryan, just one last thing before we wrap it up. Like, if you, like, any new user that may be watching this interview, what would you uh, give him as advice? Like, what what words would you give him to encourage his metaverse journey or his ice poker journey?
Hmm. Um, I won't even make it too ice poker specific. Like, I hope they will try ice poker challenge mode, flex mode, and see if they find it fun. But broadly, the advice I've given everyone when they ask sort of this question, we all have friends, right, who are not in crypto, and they ask this question, like, how do I get into it and know what the good projects are? The answer is, unfortunately, there's no shortcut. You actually need to go and participate in stuff. Like, go hop into Decentraland, go to the events page for Decentraland, and go to one or two events a week. Maybe meet a couple people there, join a few different Discord communities, start following people on Twitter. It depends whether you're looking at this, your crypto experience, as like, I want to play games, meet new people, appreciate art, or I want to flip NFTs and make a profit. I want to invest in altcoins and make a profit. Like, these are two very different approaches to engaging in crypto, but in either case, I think that you just have to participate in it. Like, there's no silver bullet. It takes a long time to learn like the history of different projects, history of the space, kind of learn how NFTs work.
Put in the
I
hours. Like, you gotta put in the hours. That's a fact.
think so. And hopefully it's fun. Yeah, like, you probably won't be able to do it if you don't find it interesting. Like, you also kind of have to just think that crypto decentralization um, is an
It's
important thing. And then from there, you're like, oh, people can do all this neat stuff with ETH. Here's some neat things people are doing with ETH and NFTs and ERC20 tokens, and then just get
and
involved. And
it's
Decentraland was a cool place to get started with this because there were already lots of little communities when I um, first joined a few years ago.
well, that's it's actually very good advice, bro. Like, it makes a lot of sense coming from you as well, Ryan. I cannot thank you enough for being here today. Like, thank you for real for, doing this for our community. Um, and I hope that people here in Stronghold are enjoying this tonight. So thank you for that, and kudos to the team. Like, please, from us, we love you guys, and congratulations for the amazing effort you're putting every day.
All right. Well, likewise, thank you for doing this 20 plus times, the awareness you're spreading and forming links between Decentraland
It's
and DG. It was a pleasure to be here.
It was a pleasure to have you here, bro. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
All
Have
right.
a good one. Bye.
Two.